everyone to West Jessamine High School here for the January regular meeting of the Jessamine County Board of Education. Mr. Moore, will you call us to order, or call the roll, please?
Yes, sir. Board Chair Stephen Scrivener.
Here.
Vice Chair Bobby Welsh.
Here.
Denise Adams. Amy Day.
Here.
And Deborah Hood.
Here.
We have four present. We have a quorum.
All right. Do we have anyone that's going to lead us tonight in the Pledge of
Yes,
Allegiance?
Officer Sam Wade, who's the resource officer here at West Jessamine High School.
All right.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Officer Wade.
I'm also going to remind you guys, he's the one that did the crafty woodwork on your guys' gift
very
this
well
year.
done.
Yeah. So
Very
he,
well done.
not only can he arrest people, but he can carve stuff out of wood. Yeah.
Wooden set of handcuffs.
Yeah, there you go.
That's right. Our mission statement, Jessamine County Schools exist to motivate and challenge every child every day to be a caring, responsible citizen and a high-level thinker, performer, communicator, and learner for life. We've had a chance to look over the agenda this evening. I don't think we've heard any needed revisions so far. Is that the case? Are we good on the agenda?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
My neighbor's daughter is on the cheerleading team, and she thought we were making a decision on them going to Florida this evening. No?
The out-of-state travel is on the consent agenda.
Well, is that? Does that include the
I assume it
cheerleaders, I
is.
guess?
Yeah, I'm going to have to look too.
Okay.
Let's see here.
That is number
Okay.
3.
I didn't see it, but I didn't see it either.
F3, is that what we're looking for?
Yep. No.
No.
Yeah, I signed them all, but I don't remember.
F5.
Do I know it
It's
is?
F5 on the consent agenda right
Okay.
here.
Okay.
It's not on this one.
We didn't get it.
I didn't either.
Huh?
Yeah, me neither.
So they
Me
may
neither.
not have submitted it yet.
Approved overnight or out-of-state field trip requests.
What's that?
Approved overnight and
Oh, yeah,
out-of-state field trip.
but the cheerleading one wasn't on that.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah. Do you know what date it's scheduled for?
No, but I can find out later, no?
Okay. Yeah, they just need to get it to us.
Yeah, and if we,
Well, you see.
yeah, if we need to, I'm sure we can figure some things out if we're in a weird place on timing. So, any other changes needed? All right, I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as is.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. All right, approval of our board meeting minutes from December the 13th. Everyone's had a chance to review those. Any revisions needed to those?
Nope.
Okay. Do we have a motion to approve the December 13th board meeting minutes?
Make a motion to approve the December board meeting minutes.
Okay. I'll second that. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Moore, we're at the construction update.
Yes, we have Margie here to give us an update on Rosenwald Dunbar.
It was quite an eventful holiday at Rosenwald Dunbar as we transitioned from Phase 1 to Phase 2, and I don't think a day was lost to some kind of progress. So you can see photographs of a typical classroom set up with the new interactive panels, the new student cubbies, bright dimmable lights. I think everybody's really excited to be in their new space. And likewise, the contractor hadn't missed a minute moving into Phase 2. Demolition is nearing completion. I think it helps them understanding what they've been through in the past 6 months, and they recognize and understand that this next phase is very much a repeat of what they've done. And so they've gained some efficiency in moving forward. And we're optimistic that they have their materials for Phase 2, that we won't be spending a lot of time talking about that. So we're greatly encouraged and very pleased with the progress. Any questions?
So we're about a week behind schedule, is that?
We were a week behind in starting Phase 2. Yes. I do feel like, as I said, with the efficiencies that they're gaining.
Make up some of that.
Certainly, always our hope. At the current time, if they can keep up this momentum, we'll be in great shape.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Margie. Anybody else got a question for Margie?
Last week really helped not having kids in school so they could actually do some jackhammering and sawing in the second phase. And then, I don't know if any of you have been over there. If you want to go over there and look at the school, just reach out to me and I'd be happy to show you the new wing. It was exciting for me because I'm not out at the schools to see the kids and the teachers. And they were just amazed how bright the new classrooms were.
Awesome. I'll take you up on that next week. Thank you.
Yeah, right before they blocked the hallway to where you couldn't see down it, if you stood down by the cafeteria and looked both ways, it was just amazing to see the difference between the two. Just how bright the colors. I mean, it was the hallways the same width, but it looked like it was twice as wide. Just
That's cool.
amazing.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, Margie. All right, Mr. Moore.
Okay. We only have one celebration for this month, and it's actually a celebration of our board members' recognition. This is our National Board Appreciation Month, and I do want to formally thank each and every one of you guys. I think all four of you could agree that this has probably been the most challenging in your careers as board members, what we've navigated over the past 2 years. And I think that everybody appreciates your thoughtfulness and making sure that we're doing the things that we need to support our students. We got to celebrate in our work session some data that's going to be coming your way, academic data, and it was exciting to know that our students are making some pretty significant academic gains right now. So on behalf of all the staff, our students, most of our students, and our parents, we definitely thank you guys for everything that you're doing. And you do have a gift. You can you're more than welcome to open it now if you'd like.
See what we got here.
Absolutely.
Right. It's like
And if he opens his, everybody else is going to figure.
I'll hide
Yeah,
mine.
exactly. Yeah.
I'm like, no, Debbie.
And that product could have been
Well, never
made by a
knows.
student.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Could have
Thank
been
you.
Well,
made
let's
by
see what we
Tom.
got. Okay.
No, hey, I'm not ruining it for you guys.
Yeah, go for
I
it.
mean, I don't want to ruin it. It's kind of like Christmas morning when your parents would get you and your sibling the same thing, and if you didn't open it right at the same time. Oh, do you want to see what we got?
Heck yes, cute.
What?
Love it, cute. Yes, very cute.
And those are Providence students make
Love
those.
it. Very cool.
That's right. I forgot about that. That's
I know, I
awesome.
do too.
Thank you. Yep.
And I was going to cover two quick items, COVID updates. If you haven't seen the weekly data from the health department, we are now at 329.72 for the 7-day case rate on the 7-day rolling average case rate. That gives us, again, the highest number we've had, but we do anticipate, if it follows the trend that it has in other countries and what it's following on the northeast coast, that we are hopefully going to start trending down pretty quickly. Last week, to give you a little bit of a perspective, we had 107 students that tested positive. The week before that, it was 169. So that has gone down considerably, but as a community, we're still pretty high.
So I see here, Matt, that the health department hasn't updated the portal. How many cases did we have in the county last week? Do we know?
I
Randy
don't.
send you that?
I don't have that number. I can actually pull it up here in a little bit. Yeah, but the overall case rate for the week was 329.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's up from the previous week.
It's, I've read several things this week where it's already starting to slow down, on the I-95 corridor.
Right.
So
hopefully we're starting to see that too.
The assumptions, which, knock on wood,
Yeah.
are the next 2 or 3 weeks we'll start seeing significant.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, hell, everyone's had it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, you know, we had been tracking all along the number of cases from our quarantines, but, you know, we stopped that process here recently, and we were glad to know that we didn't identify a lot of students that way that had tested positive after needing to quarantine. Where we have identified several through our process is the test to stay model. So that's been very effective, and we obviously are going to continue to use that. We're also finding that a lot of families are starting to utilize it outside of the school. It's probably getting as much use that way. And examples are when someone in a household tests positive, they're utilizing this program to send their students, their children, to see if they're also positive.
Good.
So it seems to help us keep students in school a little bit longer.
Good
And
deal.
then,
I was tested over there, and it was I was real pleased with
good.
the way it
Super
went.
efficient.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very
good,
much so,
good.
so, yeah.
And to give you one other just piece of data, so you're aware of this, last week we had 32 staff members out due to either quarantines or isolation, and the week before that it was 52. So that number also followed the same line as our student cases. Yeah. And the only thing I was going to communicate to you, and Amy Day had spoken about this in the work session, is our audit summary from our KECSAC review with Ash Grove Academy. And they had recognized a whole lot of exceptional practices, and there weren't any actions or any incidents that required any type of a corrective action, just some recommendations on things that we need to think about as we move forward with that program.
Okay.
Stephen, I just wanted
Yes,
to
sir.
tell you how dangerous it is. My secretary's niece, a first grade teacher in Pulaski County, about 40 years old, vaccinated and booster, died about a week and a half ago. So tragic. 2 underage children. Jeez.
Yeah, it's just crazy. I mean, it's hitting people in different ways, and I think that's what's so scary about this is while the odds favor you, it's still not a chance anyone's wanting to take, so
Yeah.
I appreciate it. No audience communications this evening. Do we have any particular board member communications? Okay. All right, moving on to the consent agenda. We've already talked about a few of these items in the work session. We've got 25 items on here. We've got some really good donations. One to the West Middle Youth Service Center from Erica Dalton. We've got a nice donation to Wilmore, from Wilmore Elementary, from the Jessamine Education Foundation for the robotics program at Wilmore Elementary, a $1,000 donation at Wilmore Elementary from John Clay Automotive for technology. West High accepting a $1,000 donation from New Hydraulics to benefit the bowling team. Another one for West High from Mindy's Jessamine School of Dance. So we really appreciate all that support from the community. Anything else in the consent agenda? Any comments or questions? All right, do we have a motion to approve consent agenda?
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Oh, I did want to ask a question.
Oh,
real
sure.
quick. It was about the internship, the counseling internship from Eastern. I read it twice, and it didn't really,
It's like a student teaching place.
That's what I
It's
thought.
their version of student teaching is all it is. So this just gives us them permission to place, and it's actually just one that we know of so far, that there will be a counselor that's completing their internship, which is the step right before they graduate with one of our counselors. So it's like a teacher doing student teaching, only as a counselor.
okay, so they will be with one of our counselors. The only thing that kind of just, kind of stuck with me, just the, with our students, just, you know what I'm saying, just that type of,
They're not really alone, they're always supervised with the counselor.
Yeah, so it's not, that's in addition to those that we're already employing.
well,
So,
I assumed they would be with.
yeah, so
one of
they'll
our
be
employees,
shadowing
but,
one of ours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just, just kind
And
of,
then those that they shadow have to have certain degrees and years of experience to,
Yeah, it's their step right before they graduate, like a student teacher, it's the step right before they graduate, like this is the final thing that they do before they graduate. And it's actually really good for us to get them, because if they're good and they do that experience with us, we can oftentimes get first dibs on them for hiring. So like if it's a good experience and they're good, then
Have we
it's
done this
almost like a
before?
pre-interview
Yeah.
kind of thing where
We've
we
had
can.
school psych interns. and
Yeah,
direct-
we've had
That's what
psychologists,
I'm
interns,
saying.
counselor interns.
Internships with counselors,
Yeah.
it's with others, but not.
Yeah, there's a lot of supervision that goes with it, and they have to sign off on
Yeah.
everything they do, and.
They have a lot of training. They also have to complete the background checks and the
Yes.
hand checks like everybody else does, so they've completed all that paperwork.
Awesome. Anything else?
Second, motion to approve consent agenda.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. All right, just one action item tonight, Mr. Moore, you wanna tell us about it?
yes, sir, this is the draft budget for fiscal year 2022-23, and this has to be approved by January 31st every year, and I always like to just point out, what you're seeing here is the mirror image of the budget for this previous year, and then all of the bigger changes that we're going to be recommending to you will come in individual action items. And I'll plan on doing a presentation, I'm hoping at the end of next month, showing you the list of all those recommended items.
Awesome.
So it's my recommendation that you approve the draft budget for fiscal year 2022-23.
Any questions or comments?
Motion to approve G1.
I'll second. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, say no. Okay, gonna make a motion that we move into closed session for discussions concerning a specific business proposal in which open discussion would jeopardize the sitting, retention, expansion, or upgrading of the business under KRS 618101G. I know, it's a mouthful, right? Backward. Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor of moving into executive session, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Let the
so-
record show, we went in at 6:48, and we will find a,
Round table in the back?
okay.
What's your